Hello, welcome back to another episode of Next Station Ronkonkoma. I'm your host, Ashley.
And I am your host, Danny.
Why am I always out of breath on here?
You talk a lot.
Wow, rude.
You're supposed to talk a lot. It's a podcast.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast.
We're just starting over?
Huh?
Are we just starting over?
No, we're continuing.
Okay. Welcome back.
Is this your first podcast?
No. It's my number
55.
It's my 55th podcast, allegedly.
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 Mm-hmm. Allegedly. We still have YouTube videos to post. That's besides the point. We're not going to
Why'd you bring that up?
talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
You're the one that brought it up.
I know.
What are you doing?
I'm just holding ourselves to it.
Holding ourselves accountable.
One day.
Tomorrow.
Either way. Video coming soon. Guest star coming soon.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. As usual, thank you for being here. Danny and I this past weekend regrettably went over and said hello to some new neighbors.
What do you mean regrettably? They were nice. Ashley doesn't like meeting new people and talking to people in general. I'm the one that's like, we have to go over there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm like, go say hello. It's a yard sale next door.
Yeah, they were having a yard sale. I'm like, all right. We've never met these said neighbors. So I'm like, all right, now's the time because they're outside anyway. Sure, let's go. Turns out it's not even the people that live there. So immediately I'm like, this was pointless. Why are we here?
Not necessarily. We found out some information about our house.
Not really. Well,
yeah.
The deck.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like I should have asked her more questions. She was very talkative.
Very talkative.
We learned a lot.
So apparently the person that we met, like the initial contact, she is or was best friends with the mother that lived in this house.
Yeah.
And she was very talkative, like Ashley said. Very nice. Nice person.
Very nice.
You know. But she loved the people. Like, who is here? Anybody you ask about the people that live there, like, oh my god, they were the best people. So nice, so sweet. The best people ever.
Best people you will ever meet.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry I never met them. Damn.
We got some big shoes to fill, apparently.
Yeah. And then immediately, first two questions. You have kids? Do you go to a church around here? That's all anybody wants to know.
Yes.
And when you answered no to both of those questions, you'd think that they lose interest. But no.
No.
They just keep going.
Then once you tell them you don't have kids and you don't go to church, they're like, all right. Well, this is the church I go to. You're more than welcome to come. Here's a pamphlet with information for you.
Yeah.
It's right here in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, regrettably, I'm just kidding. She was nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I had 5 kids
also,
though.
Yeah. There was 5 kids there. She was there with another lady, girl, whatever. They were friends, I guess. And they take care of the woman that lives there. That actually lives in the house.
They go to church with her.
Right. They're having a yard sale at her house while she's in the hospital.
Selling her stuff and their stuff.
Don't ask me. Whatever. But yeah, there was 5 kids there. And she's like, oh yeah, yesterday we had all of our kids here. I'm like, what do you mean? There's more?
Yeah.
Why? Huh?
Her kids were the kids that were riding their bikes on our front lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuckers.
The fucking cameras kept going off all day. I'm like, who's on our lawn? I know they're having a yard sale right there, but the fuck off our lawn.
Yeah, our neighbor on the other side kept walking back and forth across our lawn.
Yeah.
So the Ring doorbell, my phone's I'm working and my phone keeps going off. Motion at your front door. I'm like, what's my front door? It's my neighbor walking across my lawn, going back and forth to the yard sale.
Killing our grass.
Yeah. And then her kids are riding bikes across the front lawn. And I'm just like, what is going on over there?
Our grass is already dead. It's okay.
Yeah. But
working on it.
speaking of meeting new neighbors, I keep telling Ashley I want to go and meet the other neighbors, like in the direct vicinity of our house. Because the one set of neighbors, they had the dogs and the pool.
Yeah.
I like dogs. I like pools. We don't have a pool or dogs, so that's just killing two birds with one stone.
They also have some obnoxious kids.
Yeah.
That kind of cancels it all out.
Not necessarily. I can ignore the kids and pet the dogs. I don't want to make it sound like I hate kids either. I'm just saying.
I'm just setting you up for failure.
I just like dogs, okay?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Danny's fucking wild. He thinks that it's okay to just go over and knock on your neighbor's door. Are you out of your mind?
We've been here since February. We might as well just go over and be like, oh, yeah.
Where are they? Where's my welcoming pie or casserole?
We never got pie or casserole, but we were invited over to one neighbor's house.
2.
2?
Yeah, both.
Oh. Well, no, the neighbor, like across the street, like, he called me and said, hey, do you want to come over for dinner tonight?
Oh, yeah.
The other neighbors, they allegedly plan on having us over for a barbecue. They've had, like, 5 barbecues since the initial invite, and they have not sent the invitation back out again. It was just a one-time offer that, like, we're going to do this in the future. We're going to tell you about it now. So you can't say sick invite. But we're going to have 5 barbecues after we invite you and not invite you to those. So.
You think it doesn't help because they see us also barbecuing?
But we're just barbecuing for ourselves.
Yeah, and we never said we would invite them.
Right.
They said they were going to invite us.
There was one night where we had friends over and we barbecued. And, like, we didn't invite them, but whatever. And then also when our parents were here, we barbecued. Well, we barbecued with my parents. Did we barbecue with your mom? I'm not sure if we did.
Yeah.
Oh, we did? Okay, yeah.
That was the time that he peeked over the fence and was like, what are you cooking over there?
Yeah.
I was like,
So he saw you barbecuing, and now I lost my invite to his barbecue.
Yeah.
With adult beverages. That's a direct quote.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's because we're from Long Island and shit, but, like, don't go knocking on people's doors.
Once you say you're from Long Island down here, it's just like, oh, you're from New York. You're from the big city.
No. Well, yeah, everyone thinks you're from the city.
Yeah.
I'm like, absolutely not. They're like, oh, I can never live in New York City. I'm like, yeah, me either.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Well, the guy I worked with today, he told me that somebody in his unit, because he's a part of the armed forces also, he said that I have a similar accent to his friend in his unit, but his friend is from upstate New York. I don't know how I got an upstate New York accent. I don't think I do.
Well, the problem is we just don't have accents at all, so.
Yeah, like, I don't have a typical Long Island accent. Like, I don't pronounce coffee and orange.
You just did.
No, like.
Coffee.
Like, I don't say, like, oh, I need a coffee. I don't say that kind of shit.
Yeah, but that's also, like.
Obnoxious. Sorry, guys. I'm calling all Long Islanders out for that bullshit.
There's, like, different levels, but. Yeah, like. I feel like the heavy accent comes from, like, Brooklyn.
But that's a Brooklyn accent. That's not a Long Island accent.
But it's similar.
No. It's very different. Brooklyn, that's like pinky. That's like your uncle, the pinky ring and the strong Brooklyn accent. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
one who's like never lived in Brooklyn.
Right. I actually said that to my coworker today. Like he has a strong Brooklyn accent, but never lived in Brooklyn. But like down in.
I could be lying, but I'm pretty sure.
From our knowledge. Current knowledge of the situation, he's never lived in Brooklyn, but he's got the strongest Brooklyn accent I've ever heard. But
yeah,
again, it's like a Brooklyn accent is different from like a Long Island accent.
It is.
You say like Long Island. It's like, what do you, where you don't pronounce your R's like MacArthur. Some people say that in this room. Not me.
MacArthur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. You're right. But again, like it's just there's different levels, and I feel like it's also the like Italian Long Islanders that have like the stronger
without a doubt
accent going on.
Yeah.
Like said the other day, because we've been told a lot of times that like oh, you don't have an accent, like you don't have the accent like
Right.
from Long Island, and I'm like thinking like I feel like that's true most of the time. I don't, but it comes out
Oh yeah.
when you don't want it. Like you don't want to hear it, because if my accent's coming out, that means either I'm angry or wound up about something.
Yeah.
Then it comes out.
Yeah, but that's typical.
Yeah.
Like even our friend Matt, he said like he has to go Long Island on some of the people down here.
Yeah.
But
And I guess you could hear that too from like the like southern accents down here. Like when they get excited or angry or whatever, you don't know what the fuck they're saying because their accents are strong.
From working down here and going through different areas down here, I've noticed that the further up the mountain you go, the thicker it gets and the less I can understand.
Yeah. That's hard.
I'm pretty sure I've said it on here one time before. Some guy was asking me where I got my haircut from, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying. So I thought he had like marbles. I thought he was chewing on marbles for a second. I'm like, what are you saying to me?
Yeah.
But the accent just got thicker and thicker. But also another thing with down here is a lot of our neighbors and people that we come into contact with, they're not from here either. Mm-mm. And the people that live here originally are not happy about that. But
No.
like, I get the whole, like, if I meet a new person at work, I'm just like, yeah, you know, I just moved down here. And I usually just let it go. Then they usually like, oh, where are you from? And I say, oh, I'm from New York. Oh, you live in that big city. I'm like, no.
No.
There's way more to it. I lived in the suburbs, similar to the suburbs here.
Yeah.
But it's just much more cost effective to live here than it is to live there.
Yeah. Even our friends from Tennessee, like from here, that came to our wedding, I think all of them like flew into the city.
Yeah. You're about to say MacArthur.
Talking about MacArthur. Whether it was JFK or LaGuardia. But they even said, like, being from Tennessee, you know, that was their first time in the city. And they were like, oh, we don't like this.
Yeah, it was very
But
overwhelming.
But then as they drove out to the island, they were like, oh, this feels like home.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's way different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Way different. But that's kind of how we felt coming here. Like being from Long Island, driving through like East Tennessee, like we were like, wow, it's similar to home.
Right.
Like you kind of have everything close by, like, but not too close. Like it's different in that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's not everything's on top of each other, but it's still, we're not in the sticks.
Exactly. Like I feel like we're the perfect distance away from everything, but close enough that it's not inconvenient.
Yeah.
Like if you forget something from the store, like the store is 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, there's a store.
Right.
Like maybe not every store.
Right.
But yeah.
Like we don't have the mall like right down the road from us. We have to drive a couple minutes. But when was the last time I shopped in a fucking mall?
Yeah, I wanted to go to the mall the other day, literally just to get Auntie Anne's. I mean, what else am I going there for?
You can go to a truck stop now for that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Pilot Flying J, I believe, has Auntie Anne's and Cinnabon.
Yeah, Cinnabon, I've seen.
I'm pretty sure some of them have Auntie Anne's too.
Huh. Also, speaking of, were you going to say something?
I forgot.
Speaking of Danny going rogue and knocking on doors, what is the etiquette with Ring doorbells? Because this is my first time having one.
It's pretty straightforward.
This is my first time having a house. Duh. Is it?
Yeah.
Because like when somebody, okay, well let's say like you have a Ring doorbell, so like if anybody's at your door, you get alerted.
Right.
But what if they don't push the doorbell? They just knock on the door. Do you then speak into your Ring doorbell and ask them what they want?
Yeah.
Or you just ignore it?
I would ask them what they want. But I'm not the person that avoids people. I'm a people person. They knock on my door. They ring my Ring doorbell. Like, hey, can I help you? And then they just sit there with their clipboard in their hand and they ask me to sign or whatever. And I just tell them, like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Can you come back later? Like the kid with the hoverboard.
He had an iPad.
Yeah.
But that's what's weird. Like, he came up to our door. Well, he left the hoverboard at the end of the sidewalk. Or walkway, whatever.
Yeah.
Walked up to the door and, like, clearly saw you see the Ring doorbell. But he just knocked on the door instead. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to answer you because you didn't ring my doorbell.
Yeah.
What is my cat meowing at? You good? I think this is like his ritual after he poops. He just meows at nothing.
Yeah. He wants to alert the world. Let us know.
So yeah, I didn't say anything on the ring because he's just standing there knocking on the door. And you were still at work at that point, so didn't answer. He went away. And then later that evening, like fucking 6 hours later, Danny's home from work and we're standing out on the deck. I think we were grilling something.
Yeah.
And we see him. I'm like, shit, now he knows we're home.
Uh-huh.
So, sure enough, he comes back to the door. Like, not right away.
Yeah.
Because we had, like, eaten and you went and, like, took a shower. And he knocks on the door again.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, he literally saw us. I guess I have to answer it now. He was trying to sell something about pest control and...
Yeah. He was trying to say, like, oh, I'm trying to work out a deal with you and your neighbors to keep my overhead down and, like, costs.
Right. Give us, like, a package deal discount.
Right. He wanted, like, to cut down his transportation costs. I guess hoverboard's pretty expensive right now with the insurance and whatnot. But, yeah, he...
Insurance. Got insurance on that thing?
Right. He also rode past the house on the hoverboard one more time when I was out in front. Didn't say anything to me, though. But
No.
I went inside, and then later he came back around and knocked on the door again, I guess, when I was in the shower. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that in general. Like, it's... You don't know. Like, you know, whether you're in a safe neighborhood or not, like, you don't know who's coming door to door. Like, there's been so many stories that it's like someone comes to your door and they're like asking you about your house and they're like planning who knows what. Like, they want to know the details about your house and they ask, oh, is your husband home? And, like, you know, they start asking you questions. Yeah, no, I don't like that.
That's why I always tell you, don't open the door. Just answer the ring on your app.
Yeah, I just don't do either. I'm good.
I know. I've told my mom the same thing. I'm like, don't open the door. Just answer on the Ring app. But she doesn't. I don't think she knows how to answer on the Ring app either. So she just opens the door and I just stop opening the door. I don't think she opens the door anymore.
Yeah.
But there's been times in the past where she's opened the door and then all of a sudden she opened the door and then I got served with
yeah. Stop opening the door.
Yeah, I got served with paperwork saying I have to, like, appear in court now as a witness for something that happened like 5 years ago. I don't even remember what happened, but I was a witness because I signed it back when I was a manager at ShopRite. I'm just like, what? No, don't open the door. Stop it.
Yeah, that's why I just don't like.
Yeah.
It's usually not worth it. I don't know. If it's something like important, they'll fucking leave something in your mailbox.
Yeah. Well, also, not necessarily people knocking on a door, but our delivery drivers, they have, like, there's certain little places they like to put things. Like, our mail carrier, she'll just put our stuff at the wrong house all the time.
All the time.
And she'll give us our neighbor's mail. Like, We got a package from somebody that lives like 6 blocks away or whatever. I'm
Two
like,
different packages.
Yeah, we went out and did her job that day.
Fucking two different Amazon packages. She put them both there on the same, both on our doorstep on the same day.
Right.
Two totally different names, addresses.
Right.
Neither of them were anywhere near ours.
Yeah.
No fucking sense.
And FedEx backs into your driveway and drops it at the garage door over there.
Yeah, they leave the packages basically at the fucking back gate.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't bring it to my front door?
Well, we're about to find out where UPS leaves their packages, because I got a package coming from UPS soon.
Well, UPS usually goes to the front door.
Okay.
FedEx goes to the driveway. Yeah, I don't know.
They said they're
They're
gonna
all
try.
messed up.
I called today. They're gonna try and trim down the box because it's like 70 inches long, and they said if it's 65, it's cheaper. So like, we're gonna try and trim down the box for you before we mail it. I'm like, thanks.
Trim it down.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's gonna be fun. But those can't sit outside, babe,
Why?
because they're expensive. They have to go in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Either way. So yeah, ring doorbell etiquette. Just answer on the app or don't answer at all. Don't open the door. I don't care where you are. Don't open the door, guys. Just answer on the app.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I've seen some wild stuff on my ring app, but like, just don't
Like-
open the door.
Like the neighbors, like...
The neighbors, like what they have to say, but like also like my parents' house, when I had their ring app, I don't have it anymore because like we have ours now, but just like the video, the stuff you see on the camera, or like what they say in the comments, like oh, is that gunshots or that fireworks? Like, we don't know. Or like, but
Yeah.
here it's like people keep losing their dogs.
Oh, that's like the majority of the posts, I feel like. I don't know if that's everywhere, but it's like gunshots, fireworks, explosion, or lost dog, found dog, lost cat. It's like, keep your fucking animals in check. What are you doing?
Why? That's like our neighbor across the street. Lets his dog out and roams the neighborhood.
Yeah, we said hello yesterday.
Yeah.
You got a haircut?
I'm like, oh, hello, Jackson. And he starts barking at me. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, bud. Good to see you, too. It's been a while.
Yeah, we were just saying hi, and he's just barking at us.
Yeah. You want to get into our what did we eat this week?
Alrighty.
What did we eat this week? We went to the Wild Boar Tavern. I've been trying to go there for weeks now. We just drive past it all the time. Like, one day we'll get there. One day we'll get there. We finally got there.
We were thinking about somewhere else for dinner,
Yeah.
and then I was like, screw it. Let's just go, because we're just going to keep saying we're going to go, and then we're not. And so we did.
Apparently, it's a tavern, like bar, but they're known for their
Jesus Christ.
fucking cats. Every fucking episode. Ashley's paperwork just fell everywhere.
I can't with these cats.
Yeah, now look at them. Like, oh, did we do that? You fucking assholes. Sorry
about that.
Yeah. Sorry about the interruption. Don't get cats. So we went to the Wild Boar Tavern. Apparently they're known for like Italian specialties.
Yeah.
It's like a bar, but they have like lasagna and pizza and wings. You got the wings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's part of their Italian stuff. But
Well, a lot of pizzerias in New York have wings too. But either way, pizza, lasagna, spaghetti, stuff like that.
yeah. They had a lot of different pizzas.
They had the garlic rolls, garlic knots. They weren't knots.
They were knots.
They were knots?
Yeah.
Okay. We went somewhere else that didn't have knots. They were rolls.
Yeah. And they called them knots.
Yeah.
This place called them rolls, and they were knots.
Right.
The other place called them knots, and they were rolls.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, they're even like big billboard, like best pizza in town.
They're known for their pizza wings and ribs.
Barbecue. Yeah.
So, yeah, they kind of covered it all.
Yeah. There were a couple, like, we were sitting there and a couple people ordered pizza, and it looked really good.
Yeah, we were thinking about it.
Yeah.
But what'd you get?
What did I get?
A burger?
Yeah, I got a bacon cheeseburger and some fries. It was really good. Really good. I ordered medium rare. It was medium well, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
Did we get an appetizer? Oh.
The rolls.
The garlic knots.
The garlic knots, yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to try. They were okay.
They were like soaked in oil. Like they were in like a tray, that oil at the bottom, Parmesan cheese on top, and garlic powder, and not powder, like fresh garlic. Yeah. But it was good. They were good. They were all right, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to hype it up, but like at the same time, it's like,
You don't have to. It's okay. Probably nobody listening will ever go there. Maybe. Like, yeah, maybe. I got the wings because I wanted to try them. Because, they're known for them.
Yeah.
They were good. They were pretty crispy. I got like the regular traditional bone-in wings with mild sauce. And then I also tried their coleslaw, which was okay.
Okay.
Not the greatest, but yeah, I would say the wings were definitely good. Yeah, the service was pretty good. They were very nice. We went there pretty early for a Friday. And they were setting up for a live band.
Yeah.
But luckily we were out of there before that. I just don't like eating with a live band because you can't hear each other then.
Right. Apparently we were there early enough, though, also, that they allowed kids inside the restaurant.
Do they not after a certain time?
I feel like it's a law down here that anything where you're allowed to drink alcohol, you're not allowed to have kids inside.
That makes it like after a certain time.
I guess.
Yeah, there was a wild mom at the Wild Boar when we were there.
She was definitely a wild mom.
Yeah.
I don't know how this whole thing transpired, but we're sitting at a table.
We witnessed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There was...
Well, I saw her walk in. I saw them walk in.
What'd you say to me when she walked in?
Her fucking boobs were, how do I say this in the best way?
You couldn't miss them.
No. So, allegedly, this lady walks in with a little, like spaghetti strap shirt, boobs like in her neck, basically. Like, you could tell when somebody got a boob job.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when, like, she was fairly, like, a small person.
She was on the very small side with...
Yeah.
For a chesticles that large.
Chesticles? Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was with what appeared to be her boyfriend, husband, whatever, and a small child.
Yeah.
The little girl was maybe 5.
Right. And mom was mom's night off because she was not wearing anything between the shirt and her chest.
No.
That was pretty noticeable.
You saw nip?
I didn't see nip. I saw no nip, but she was wearing a jacket.
Well, she put on the jacket after. Yeah, I didn't see her with the jacket.
Yeah, I saw her with the jacket. I'm still like, damn, she's not wearing anything under there.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, so Ashley saw Cray Tots walk in. Cray Tots means like Cray boobs. So Cray Tots walks in with her family. And we're sitting at a table by ourselves. There's a table next to us that's empty, and then there's a booth with a guy and his 2 kids. All of a sudden,
basically like in a line.
Right.
Going from like up against the wall, it was the booth, and then a table with a little girl?
No. There was no one at the table yet.
Okay. So there's a guy
with his 2 kids.
With 2 kids in a booth, and then an empty table.
Yeah.
And then our table.
Right.
And then I think another empty table.
Yeah.
And then so the Kratots and her family were like 3 tables down the other way.
Right. It was like Kratots, then a family of people at a table, us, empty table, booth.
Yeah.
With the guy with his 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Kratos walks over to this empty table between us and the booth and like sits her daughter down by herself with like her iPad, I guess, because that's what every parent does now is just give the kid an iPad and they'll just take care of themselves.
That table was empty?
Yeah.
What the? Okay. So Danny and I were facing like each other, obviously. Right. So my back was facing this empty table and this booth. Danny's back was facing Kratos.
Yeah.
So we were seeing different perspectives. I didn't know that table was empty.
Yeah, it was empty. She just went over, sat her kid there.
Across the fucking restaurant?
Across the restaurant by herself. And then the little girl that's sitting at the booth with her dad and her brother, allegedly, goes and just sits down next to her.
Oh, okay.
So all of a sudden, go ahead.
I thought the other little girl was already there.
No.
And she brought her over like, she wanted to play with her.
No.
Oh, okay.
So then the little girl, allegedly, it was with her alleged dad. I don't know the specifics here, but she goes and sits there. And then, like, the mom and the dad, like, that dad, I guess, they, like, talk for a second. And, like, they just want to sit next to each other. We heard this little girl, like, that belonged to the mom, say, like, what even is your name? These kids had no idea who they were. Like, they didn't know each other. They had never met before. They're just sitting at a table in a restaurant by themselves while mom's on the other side, like, the complete other side of the restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like a young child. It's not like she's your preteen or your teenage daughter. This is, like, a young kid sitting by herself at a restaurant.
I feel like she could have even been 4. Like, she was little.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, she's sitting there and, like, she's coloring. Then she's got an iPad, and she keeps walking back over to Mom on the other side of the restaurant, asking her questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Mom keeps coming over to us. Well, not us, like her. And then, like, one point, the boyfriend or the dad came over and said something to her, like, stay over here. Like, whatever. I don't know. But it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you on a date, like a Tinder date, and you had to bring your daughter, so you leave her on the other side of the restaurant or something? I don't know.
It appeared to be very odd.
Right. And then at some point, these little kids are sharing their food with each other. Right,
I was going to say. And then the girl that was in the booth with the dad, she gets her food.
Yeah.
And then you're like, because then I heard. So I guess when the girl in the booth came over to the table with the other little girl.
Yeah.
And she was like, Dad, like, can I eat over here? And he's like, I don't know about that.
Right.
And then once her food came out, she got pizza.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I heard somebody say something else. And I was like, and you're like, I guess they're sharing their food. And I'm like, I don't think, like, they're supposed to be. Like, I think that's her food. And the Kratos daughter is just, like helping herself.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Right.
Even, like, the wait staff was kind of, like, looking like, what's going on here?
The wait staff was confused. The manager came over one point and looked and, like, what's going on over here? And they were like, it's not that busy yet. Like, it's okay. You can use the table. But it's like, these kids don't know each other.
Yeah, it was weird.
This whole situation.
And then the dad or the boyfriend, whatever, from the other table brought her dinner over.
Yeah.
It was a fucking big bowl of spaghetti with sauce.
Yeah.
And he leaves it with this fucking 4 to 5-year-old little girl by herself at this table with this other little girl and her pizza. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you just, here's your big bowl of spaghetti. Good luck.
Right.
Like, what? And you're nowhere near her to even see her. Like, I again, like, we're not parents, but when it's a kid that's that little, I don't think they should be out of your sight when they're eating.
Right.
Like,
there was a lot. Like, we were both very confused about what was going on.
It was very distracting.
Yeah. Very, like, we weren't even distracted by this mom's chest. Like, we were distracted by this little kid eating by herself, like, fending for herself on the other side of the restaurant over here. Again, Ashley and I are not parents, but I just feel like common sense here is like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it was wild. Like, I could see the couple on the other side of the restaurant, like, just, they look like they're just on a date.
Right.
And then I don't know if they're both the parents or what, but, like, their little girl is on the other side of us, just sitting there, like, eating with this other little girl that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Right. It was a very confusing situation. And then we wound up finishing up our meal, and we left. And shortly after we left, the dad with the two kids in the booth, they wound up leaving too.
Yeah.
But I guess the date was still going on, so the girl was at the table by herself at that point. I don't know. I'm assuming. But
yeah, because even when we left, like, they had, like, to-go boxes already. Like, they were just sitting there hanging out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a parent. I can't speak from my own personal experience in that whole field, but
yeah,
I just feel like that wasn't the right way to go about that whole situation personally, but
like I was trying, like, not to judge the situation or judge them as parents or whatever they might be.
We were judging the shit out of them the entire night. What do you mean? We were just doing it to between ourselves, but
yeah. Well, like, I'm saying, like, I wasn't trying to judge. Like, I was concerned.
Right.
And I was curious and just trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I know, like, things are different down here. Like, but that was just... And, like, again, like, I know it wasn't just us. Like, the wait staff, too, was, like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot of concerned parties in this whole situation.
Yeah. Like, I was concerned about the little girl more than anything.
Right. As was I. Like, her mom's on the other side of the restaurant partying, so, like, no one's really supervising this kid. But, like, you and I were sitting there, we were supervising this kid, even though she's not our responsibility.
Yeah.
Us being good people, like, we got to make sure this kid's okay now.
Right. She, even at one point, when she was, I guess, done eating, she grabbed her bowl of pasta that's, like, fucking bigger than her and walks it across the restaurant to her mom or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. Like, God forbid she, like, drops that. Like...
Yeah.
And then even because I kept asking you, like, what was going on behind me. Like, I didn't want to look and, like, make it obvious. But, like, even the dad or whatever that was in the booth, like, he was the closest one to them. Like,
right.
I'm like, so now this lady's putting it on him to, like, monitor her kid that he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Just weird.
Everybody in that restaurant was babysitting that kid last night. Well, not last night. That night, except for, like, her mom.
Yeah.
Her mom was watching from a distance. A good distance.
But, like, we were, like, literally blocking the view.
Right.
Like, could she even see her?
I'm like a fucking brick wall anywhere I am, so probably not, but...
So odd.
It was very odd, but like I said, we had no idea who this kid was. We're not her parents. We were not responsible for her whatsoever, but in that moment, I'm now supervising this kid because it's just the right parental instinct that I get, even though I'm not a parent.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta make sure this kid's okay now. Mm-hmm. Like, if anyone, even in a situation like somebody strange was walk up and, like, come by this kid, it'd be like, well, what's going on here? Like, I would say, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, go get her mom. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. That's like any like public situation when you see a kid like by themselves or they're like running off from their parents or something, like you're like, I gotta keep an eye. Like, it's like, it's just like, it should be, I mean, I think for most people it is like just human nature, like, just protect children at all costs, like,
right.
Like, even if they're not yours, even if you have no idea who they are, like, you see a kid that could potentially get hurt, like, you just keep an eye.
Yeah, with doing my job the job that I do, I'm always in and out of different stores every day. Like, I'm in and out, like, a bunch of different stores and places every day. I can't tell you how many times, especially back on Long Island, where I'm delivering to a store and then this little kid, like, takes off from their mom, they try to run to the door, and I hold the door. And then the kid's
like, not today.
Yeah, the mom's like looking around for their kid. I'm like, oh, he's over here. And she's like, what did I tell you about running away? It's like, but I hold the door because I'm on a main road. If that kid gets out that door, I don't know where they're trying to go.
Right.
But they're not going out the door, me standing there. Not a fucking chance. And it's like, even just like when I used to work in a supermarket, the kid would run away from the parents. Like, all right, I know where the kid is. And the parent comes, like, the kid runs first. And then like 2 minutes later, like, where's my, like, aisle 6 over there?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But that's just how I am. Like, I don't, they're not my kids, but I still feel like somewhat responsible because I'm in the situation here. I see it. The least I could do is, like, keep an eye on them.
Yeah. It's scary out there. Like,
yeah.
And, it's also, like, seeing the other side of it. Like, it's scary and stressful to have a kid, and you're not going to be a perfect parent, and your kid's not going to be glued to your hip 24/7. Like, it happens.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, you gotta be like, it's, I forgot my train of thought for a second. Hold on.
There are no perfect parents, and there's no perfect scenarios and perfect situations, but you gotta just do your best. And sometimes, even when you do your best, accidents happen and mistakes happen.
Oh, I was gonna say, sorry, I forgot for a second.
Go ahead.
Just like both perspectives, like, that's why they say, like it takes a tribe to raise a kid or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Is that what the saying is?
It takes a village.
A village.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a village to raise a kid.
Yeah. You can't, no matter how good of a person or a parent you are, it still takes more than one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could try, but you need people to lean on and count on and so on and so, like, people to be there.
Yeah. And that's, I don't advise leaning on the public for
the general public in a random restaurant, but
yeah,
we were still there to watch, I guess, and supervise. You're welcome, but
yeah,
great thoughts, I guess, but I don't know. I'm assuming it was a date because of the attire she was wearing, but whatever, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna sit there and judge her for how she was dressed or lack thereof, but
everybody in the restaurant noticed.
Oh yeah, it's hard
and
to
that
miss.
too, like, you're like already bringing attention to yourself, and now you're throwing your kid a couple tables down. Now everybody's like really involved, like invested in what's going on.
Right. I don't think she asked the wait staff if she can place her child on the other side of the restaurant.
No.
I think she just did it on her own, but I don't know.
So yeah, that was our wild time at the Wild Boar.
Yeah, first time experience.
We'll let you know if we go back and if we see them again.
Yeah. Moving right along to the next subject. Do you want to hit the button for the what did we eat this week to close that out? Are we done with that? We hit the button.
I feel like you always say that, but it's just the intro button.
Oh, okay. No outro button?
It's Danny's first podcast again.
Yeah, I'm a little tired, as always. We're just going to change topics drastically here. So, we did some housework. And by we, I mean YouTube and me. Ashley came to the store to buy the products. Thank you. So, we, first time homeowners, we all know this. You should all know this. If you don't know this, go back a couple episodes. Like 20, I don't know. Maybe not 20. But either way. So, there were some weeds growing through Ashley's driveway, because she has her own driveway here. And, I wanted to take care of it. So, instead of going out and buying, what is it?
Roundup.
Ashley,
again?
Yeah, Ashley went out and bought Roundup, and it worked okay. But we wanted to find a more cost-effective and more natural, safe for the environment, because I'm bad for the environment in other ways with my fossil fuel burning. So we went on YouTube, white vinegar, Dawn dish soap, and salt. Mix those together into like a spray bottle, or whatever you want to use. Mm-hmm. Spray that on the weeds, get into the roots, and next day, all dead. Mm-hmm. So now we have to go through and pull all those fucking weeds out of your driveway. But they're all dead now, at least.
Yeah, they're still there, just dead.
One day turnaround, real quick.
Yeah.
Gone.
Because apparently there's something with... I feel like it's like a viral thing now, that mixture.
Yeah, definitely.
But it works, and because it's something with, obviously, the mixture of all those things together, and then once the sun hits it, it just kills them.
Yeah. I think it's like the acidity and the vinegar. Mm-hmm. The soap lets it like latch on. Yeah, cling on to it. But it said like...
what the salt does. Dries... more drying.
I'm not sure, but it said like, oh, give it like 3 days. Next day, I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah.
So that worked out really well, but now I have to go to the store and buy more vinegar to do my driveway.
Yeah.
And whatever. But
still
it worked.
Pull those.
Yeah, it's going to be a project in itself just to pull the weeds out everywhere, but at least they're all dead now. That worked.
And then, well, also, the garage door opener, speaking of house...
yeah, that's right.
House projects.
So, apparently I'm a fucking genius here, guys. Not really. YouTube, again.
YouTube, again.
I fully admit I am not a mechanic. Some people would even say I'm not mechanically inclined. You know who you are. But I'm a YouTube mechanic all day long. Give me a YouTube video that explains it, and I can do it. But,
YouTube renovator, YouTube fixer-upper.
YouTube homeowner, right here.
Yeah.
So, apparently, with garage door openers, there's a lot of little flaws here and there that people come across with their door openers. Like if they have kids, the kids will hit the sensors, or they'll leave their toys in it so the garage door won't open and close for good reason. Those little photo eyes, if something breaks the beam, the door says, nope, can't close. There's something there. It's a safety feature. And I get it. I understand.
But I don't want it.
But again, the previous owners did not want it.
And they had kids.
And they had 3 of them.
Savages.
But the thing is also, if it's snowing, the snow flurries can break the beam. If the sun is in a certain spot in the sky, it'll reflect on the beam and it'll say, nope, can't close the garage door, and it gets frustrating. Mm-hmm. So what I learned after, I don't know, fucking 45 minutes on scouring the internet, looking at forums and YouTube and everything else, everyone says...
that long.
No.
Maybe a half hour.
Okay, half hour. Scouring the internet, looking on forums and YouTube and everything else. I'm sitting like, I can't, like, Ashley's garage door, her door, because I also use her garage. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. The door
it's not permanent.
Sure. The door that she uses was not closing. It was just giving her a hard time. Like, some days it would close, some days it wouldn't, some days it wouldn't close all the way, and it would, like, go to shut, open back up, go to shut, open back up. And then one day it just was not closing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, We were going to go somewhere. I'm like, you just go without me. I will fix this before you get back. That didn't happen, but shortly after she got back, I fixed it. Basically what happened was they took the photo eyes from the garage door on both of her doors, and they rerouted them to above the opener and taped them together so that way they're like always the beam is always there, and then nothing else
not there.
Well, the beam is always connected above the opener, not at the door.
Right.
So it should always open and close, no issues. Nothing. If there's something blocking the door, it's closing anyway. So you better fucking move. But what happened was it got so hot in the garage. They were electrical taped together, and they just basically fell apart from the heat. Melted apart. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't know. I don't see. Like I saw that was a solution for the problem of the photo eyes like 10 times. But I'm like, no, he wouldn't do that. Because there's just cut wires where the photo eyes are supposed to be on both of her doors. Mm-hmm. So then I'm sitting there looking at the opener. I'm like, oh, shit. He really did that. The photo eyes were on top of the opener, falling apart. Mm-hmm. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm sitting there. So, so that was the problem. And we figured I found a solution. So Ashley is now back from where she went, and she's sitting in her car. I'm like, hold on, I got this. But I don't have a ladder, and the opener is a little bit taller than me. So I make my own ladder with cinder blocks.
Step stool.
Yeah, make a step stool with cinder blocks, grab a roll of electrical tape, and I tape them back together real quick. I just did the motion. You guys can't see because we're not on video, but I'm sitting here doing the motion of taping it back together. And so now the photo eyes are taped together on top of the what?
You guys missed out on that demonstration.
I throw it back up there. I hit the button. Bam, we're in business. The door opens and closes again, and it's been fine ever since. It's
been working flawlessly ever since.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's been working better than it was before, actually, now.
Yeah. It was definitely coming loose this whole time.
Yeah, it's been like weeks.
Yeah.
One day
ever since it got hot.
Yeah, one day just gave up, and it's like, I'm done. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But we're good now. We fixed it.
Yeah. You did amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been fucking hot. Literally everything is melting, including myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it working inside in the AC all day? I wouldn't know.
You know, it's anyway. But no, like, it's been so hot, like, all the fucking grass is dying. Like, we saw a potential fire at Walmart the other day.
Oh yeah, the mulch.
The fucking mulch was smoking.
Yeah.
There was a couple Walmart employees just standing there staring at it.
Somebody from the car wash came over with a bucket.
Yeah. Somebody finally came over with a bucket of water. And then they finally, like, put water on it, and then the fire truck comes pulling in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking mulch was about to go up in flames. It's too hot out there for life right now.
Yeah.
I think it got up to like 96 today.
I think so, yeah.
Ugh.
The other day I was out in the garage, and I was like, oh, I got AC out here. Let me turn these on and see how it works out. I put them on like a couple hours before I was going to go out and work in the garage. And when I turned them on, it said it was 89 degrees in there. When I went out there to work, it was 81. I'm like, better than nothing. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a hot one. I think we're like, there's got to be like a nationwide heat wave right now. Because even like in Tennessee, it's fucking hot. Long Island, I know, has been hot.
Yeah.
We've still steadily been like 10 degrees hotter than Long Island. Mm-hmm. But they're probably a little bit more humid. We've still been humid.
It wasn't too bad like yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just really hot.
Yeah, like it's just like that heat that you walk outside and it's like the air feels too thick to breathe.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, even first thing in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
you're outside and say, "Fuck, why is it so hot out here still?"
Yeah, like that early in the morning, and then like 8 o'clock at night. It's like, why am I still sweating? Brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up for today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna wrap
yeah.
it up. Oh yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Before Ashley just closes out without me doing my spiel here,
I wasn't skipping you. Don't worry.
I felt like
The look he gave me.
I
Skip my spiel
yeah, you guys all know the spiel, but I'm just gonna say it anyway.
quickly.
Relax. New episodes every Tuesday at 8 a.m. on all of your major podcast platforms, being Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and wherever else you get podcasts from. On YouTube on Wednesdays. No specific time. It gets there when it gets there. It tries its best. We are, as Ashley spoke about earlier in this episode, like towards the beginning, about video. We're working on it. It's still in the works. There's plans. We have ideas. Not yet. You'll see. And then, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to us at Next Station Ronkonkoma on Instagram, at Ashley, or at Danny. If you have anything specific for me, hit me up. Let me know. I want to be your friend. Just kidding. But I'm still here for you.
Wow, just kidding.
There's a lot of people. You know, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of good friends. You know, I can't replace my good friends. So
Never.
I can add, but I can't replace. And so anything like that, like I said, questions, comments, concerns, we are most active on Instagram, again, at Next Station Ronkonkoma. And that's about it for me. You got anything else, babe?
That's it. Who's fucking?
Who's fucking?